What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now, over the years, I've had a lot of conversations with brand new real estate agents, as well as I've seen their development even through my own personal team. And through all of those experiences, I've kind of noticed the same patterns of, what stops real estate agents from being successful as it pertains to like the activities they do the first, especially as they get going in their business. At the core of it, it's typically a lack of focus and accountability. As it's easy as a real estate agent, especially when you're brand new, to get wooed into the different facets and aspects of the real estate industry, right? I mean, you can feel productive doing business cards, talking to random people, creating flyers, and the list goes on and on. But at the end of the day, the issue is brand new agents just don't really focus on the core things that truly can move a business along. So what I thought I would do in this video is break down the 4 biggest concrete things I see that brand new real estate agents make mistakes on. And hopefully if you're brand new, this will help you kind of focus and put together a path that will truly allow your business to grow. So with that, let's get at it. What's going on, guys? My name is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes, 2 super quick things for you guys. First of all, if this is your first time on my channel, first of all, welcome. And second of all, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I put out tons of new videos every single week, as pertains to different strategies for real estate agents in terms of expanding their businesses, expanding their wealth through real estate investing, and so much more. So if that's the kind of content you're looking for, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, as I said, guys, I am a team leader here in Boston. So, I've had these conversations with brand new agents. I've seen these new agents come through. So these 4 things that I'm about to share with you guys, I've just seen on an over and over basis, people making the same mistake consistently, that's prevented really their business from growing. So let's get right into number 1. I've got my list right here. And the number 1 issue is new agents don't have a clear way of starting their brand on social media. Now, I don't have to be the one to tell you that your brand on social media is insanely important to the longevity and sustainability of your real estate business, especially in today's world, right? If you are not on social media, I mean, you are going to have a very, very, very tough time, really generating any sort of business over a long period of time. Now, as a brand new agent, you don't necessarily need to have like this insane strategy put in place, right? I certainly didn't. You don't know really what your niche is. You don't really know exactly what you're passionate about. So that's completely understandable. But the issue with most brand new agents is they don't have a plan to consistently put out content, right, on a consistent schedule, right? Notice I said consistent a couple of times. That is the biggest issue. Because shooting off your hip and kind of throwing out some stories here or an IG post there or a video on Facebook here and there, that's not really gonna do anyone any justice, right? Especially as a brand new agent, you gotta think about it. Your battle of attrition, right, is gonna be super, super high, right? Because everyone knows a realtor, everyone knows someone in real estate. So just because you entered in the industry and started to throw off a post here and there, it's not really gonna burn into anyone's mind. Even the people in your network, right? Even your family, friends. I remember when I joined, like people didn't care, right? Like because everyone knows a real estate agent. So, you kind of throwing off haphazardly a video here and there without any sort of consistency is the number 1 way your brand is not going to grow. So if I was in a brand new agent's shoes, right, I would of course have a consistent schedule. And I would also start to try and play around with different things, right? Maybe you do think you're kind of passionate about downtown condos, right? Let's say you live in a big city and most of the stuff you're looking at or your office is doing is a lot of condos. I would start to throw out a lot of condo content, right? Can you go to showings, go to broker opens or whatever, and strategically start putting out content about that kind of niche? If you're more in a suburbs market, right, same thing, just go to single families instead of condos. But, see if you can start niching down a little bit, because then the niche allows you to focus. It allows you to focus on specific things instead of, again, trying to be all over the place, which is definitely a recipe for disaster. Then beyond just the kind of content you're shooting, you also got to figure out how you're distributing it, right? So again, if your main platform is going to be Instagram, for example, how are you going to be putting out stories? How often? On what kind of content? Can you play around with like different types of stories, right? Like maybe you have like the engagement stories or you have polls, or what, whatever. You could play around with it. Same thing with Instagram posts. How often are you going to be doing them? Are you going to be doing reels? Are you going to be doing IGTV, right? Like how can you play around with it again on a consistent basis where you're really taking advantage of the platform? For me, I'll give you guys an example, right? I'm very big on YouTube and Instagram, right? So I've got my strategy set. So I basically set out my strategy at the beginning of every single week, right? I kind of map out exactly where I'm gonna be, what kind of content I wanna shoot, and make sure it kind of relates to my overall strategy for what I'm looking to accomplish. So if I was a brand new agent, definitely make sure to do that. Number 2 big issue I see with real estate agents not doing well is learning lead generation and lead conversion. Because here's the thing, guys, as a brand new agent, I already said this, your network, your family, friends, maybe you'll toss a dealer here and there, right? Maybe you'll get a little lucky. But for a lot of new agents, it's tough to even generate business from their own networks, right? Because even within their own networks, people know that you're a brand new agent. They might not necessarily have the full confidence in you. So in order to really take down some business, especially that first year, you really got to get good at lead generation and lead conversion. These skills are also going to help you down the line, right? Even once you're an established, successful realtor, like these skills I learned about lead generation conversion, I still use today because, whenever I get referrals or anything like that, or people within my network, I can still convert those leads based on the skills I learned right at the beginning when I joined the industry. So if you're going to eat today, right, and you want to take down business, learn how to lead generate, right? Whether it's you directly and you're launching Facebook ads or PPC ads, whether it's you buying leads, right? You can buy tons of different sources of leads. You got to figure that aspect out. But then more importantly, I think, is the actual conversion, right? Is how do you tackle a lead? What's the frequency you go at them, right? As soon as you get that lead, do you call them 3 or 4 times? Do you leave the voicemail? Do you send the text? If you have addresses, do you send a handwritten note? Do you hit them up on social, right? There's a lot of different strategies and you can be very, very aggressive because you need to be, right? I mean, think about it. These leads are probably getting hammered by multiple agents, especially if they're non-exclusive leads. So if you're not doing everything and if you're not really learning systematically how to convert these leads, that's absolutely going to be an issue for you, and it's probably going to cause you to flame out of the industry very, very quickly. Issue number 3 I see with a lot of new agents is not networking strategically. And here's the thing with this, right? Real estate agents, like I think of all the industries in the world, love to go to networking events, right? And my personal opinion for why that is because we think we're doing work, where in reality we're having drinks and kind of just, tossing words around or whatever, right? But still, there is certainly still a very important aspect to networking within real estate because it certainly is who you know. But if you're not strategically going about it, right? If you're just kind of spraying off one-off events or going to this event and that event, or having coffee with 10 different lenders, right? Who are all taking you out on their treat. It's like, that's great, but what is really the outcome of that? And the answer is not a lot, right? So my suggestion for you guys is you got to become super, super strategic about the events you're going to, right? So maybe you want to hit up 1 or 2 investor focused events. Maybe you want to go to 1 or 2 broker open houses in markets that you're really trying to break into. So again, you can learn the inventory, you can meet the brokers, meet the listing agents that are doing business there. That way, if you ever get a buyer client, you already have a relationship. It's certainly okay to get coffee with a lender, an attorney, or whatever. But again, getting coffee with 10 different attorneys and 10 different lenders, probably not going to do much for you. It's kind of going to be a waste of time pretty quick, right? So make sure you really strategically prioritize who you're meeting with, what networking groups you're going to, where can you be the most consistent at, and that's definitely going to result in the most productivity from all of this networking. And finally, the last mistake that I see agents making the most, this kind of wraps around all the points I've talked up to this point, is just not having a consistent schedule on a daily basis, right? Because look, here's the thing. If as realtors, right, it's very easy to get distracted very quickly, right? Whether it's networking, whether it's, trying to look up a new lead source, creating business cards, flyers, whatever it is, right? It's very easy to get distracted. And one of the biggest issues, and I've seen this with agents on my team a lot, is they just don't have a clear schedule of what needs to get done on a daily basis and what needs to get done on a weekly basis, right? I'm not saying you need to map out every freaking minute of your day. That I get is kind of insane. But, having 2 or 3 main goals that you need to hit on a daily basis, like, hey, today I need to shoot content. Today I'm gonna follow up with these leads. Tomorrow, maybe I'm gonna be doing some cold calling, or tomorrow I'm gonna go to this broker open, right? Whatever it is, right? You need to have a consistent schedule, right? Where you're slotting in your most important things and you're making sure those things get done, right? Because if you prioritize on those big things, right, that are gonna generate business, you're gonna get business. Like, it's not that crazy. It's not rocket science, right? You just gotta be focused on and prioritize. So those are my tips for you guys. Again, I see these on over again, right? With brand new agents, they flame out on these key concepts. They fail to brand properly on social. They don't know how to lead generate and convert, right? They kind of spray around into these different networking meetings, end up burning a ton of time for literally no reason. And they just don't do the things that need to be done on a consistent schedule, right? And that's ultimately what leads to burnout and failure within the industry. So hopefully that helps, guys. If you're a brand new agent and you have further questions, make sure you put them in the comments below.